A very special film and a wonderful performance. Please help me welcome writer, director, producer Stephen Ward, and producer and the star of the show, Tim Daly.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. That was fun to watch with an audience. I'm gonna fire the first couple of questions, and I'm gonna start from the end, because from the time we saw the film and now seeing it on the big screen with the audience, that was a brilliant way to handle that ending. An absolutely brilliant way to handle that ending. Was that always the way it was intended, or did that develop as you developed the story? Is that what you had planned?
That was the ending came first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening and welcome. The ending came first.
Well, it was brilliant and beautiful. I just want to go on record as saying
Thank
that.
you very much.
We'll switch back to way back in the beginning. Tim, how did you come across this project? And Stephen, how did you come across Tim? And what made you want to produce and act and star in this?
That was a lot of questions.
I know, right?
Yes.
Stephen and I knew each other. We had become friends, and I knew that he was a writer, and he was, mulling all this stuff. And he sent me this script to read, and I said, Stephen, this is a great script. And I said, you should get some big movie star to do it. And and he tried and failed. And so I said, listen, let's produce this together. And we did, and we had, it was quite an adventure. We had some pretty significant misstarts, but then we ran into Shelley Gibson, who played the therapist, and she was living in Springfield, Missouri, and she said, do you think you could shoot this movie in Missouri? And we said, we'll shoot it any place. We'll shoot it, in Siberia. We don't care. But she knew basically every person who was important in Missouri. She knew the policemen. She knew the people that owned motels. She knew the people that owned restaurants. So we got a lot of in-kind services, and were able to do the budget on the movie on a minute budget.
Nice. And she's in the film, yes?
Yeah, she's
the therapist.
She's the therapist.
Yeah,
that's correct.
And isn't she married to someone on this stage too?
No.
Are the two of you together?
No, her partner is the her partner is the drummer of the Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Oh, gotcha.
And he was he was in the car when he turned up back in Malibu.
Gotcha.
He was the driver.
Well, she acts like your wife. So Shelley, who stars there, is the one that was coordinating all of this to make sure. That's why I thought she was somehow married to you. And
We've never even kissed.
She said,
no.
I'm kind of the mother hen. I take care of the boys. So the story becomes even funnier because she said, don't send any information about hotels, reservations, nothing to the guys. They're never going to do it. I'm the mother hen. I take care of the boys. Tim sees me tonight. He goes, I was lost in Sedona. I had no idea what hotel I was supposed to go to, where this was screening. So we're lucky you even found the place.
Listen, full disclosure, some actors should never be given information.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those actors. I thrive on it, and I was given none. That's why I was like wandering around like a lost nomad.
I mean, I still regret giving him the script, but
So Stephen, where did this all come from? And from that time you guys had that conversation, when was that? How many years ago, prior to what we're seeing now?
Maybe 2 years ago.
it was
tops.
2 years or less. So we were very lucky. We talked about it. Tim even said at the time, look, let's just do it with iPhones and, I'll throw in 10 grand and we'll do it. And I thought, actually, that could be fun. And then we eventually found, it was through Shelley again, wasn't it? We found someone with finance who loved the script and foolishly put all the money in. And it happened pretty quickly. It happened much faster than any other project I'm still waiting for. Yeah.
And how did you, and I'll come down to you, raise your hand, I'll come down to you with questions. How did you find your amazing co-star, Alex? Where did Alex come from?
We did a casting session. A friend of Tim's, actually, who's a fantastic casting agent, basically sent me, I can't remember, about 10, 12 tapes of actresses, and Alex just stood out. She was fantastic. So we kind of hired her on the spot, and she loved the script and wanted to do it.
You had a fantastic chemistry together. Did you do a lot of rehearsal to get into this, or
Well, here's the
explain
thing.
that
I mean,
process?
we did enough rehearsal, but the thing is that we were playing a father and daughter who were estranged for 8 years. So the discovery of the relationship happened as we were doing the movie. I think if we planned it too much, it might have not have been as authentic as it hopefully is in the finished product.
Well, it was brilliant. The performances were both brilliant.
I want to thank you very much. We're from Springfield, Missouri.
Sorry.
We're from Springfield, Missouri. We know Beth Doman. She's head of the little theater there. And
She's
so many.
she's the policewoman as well.
Yes, yes. She was in Winter's Bone a long time ago, another movie. It was really amazing to us to see. Elvis actually stayed there. That's a true fact.
Oh, we know.
And yeah. And the Rail
We
Haven
know.
is critical.
We've been told many times.
And Route 66 is the mother road and blah, blah, but it's
We know.
very well done by obviously somebody who took good care of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she had the best line of the movie. They snorted your mother. Gold, absolute gold. Right over here. Susan?
I could yell. Was that your son playing you?
It was. That was my son Sam, who did us a favor and came in from Los Angeles and did a couple of days with us. Yeah.
He was terrific. Also, the music in the piano music plus the rap music in the bar where she meets that guy, that's my son. He's an English rapper.
Oh.
He also played the piano, the row, row, row your boat, plaintive piano, yeah. Oh, and a couple of other, we might as well tell them. A couple of other Easter eggs. The podcast guy is our friend Jason Isaacs, who was in White Lotus. And Michelle reading the letter, her voice is Marlon Ackerman, who was in The Hunting Wives recently and many other things, yeah. And they just did it for a laugh.
We couldn't get the movie stars to be in the movie. Yeah. But we got them to do voiceovers.
Yeah.
So how many, where has this film's journey began? You played some festivals, and so where has it been, and where is it going from here?
Right, the
What are the
last
plans?
festival is the Crystal Palace Film Festival in the UK, which is quite a big one over there. It's the European premiere, and that's in about 3 weeks. I'm going to go over to that, and that's the end of the festivals. Then we're already talking to a handful of distributors, both here and in Europe. So nothing concrete yet, but
But
we're on the way.
Stephen is avoiding your question. It played at the Burbank International Film Festival and the Woodstock International Film Festival,
Nice.
Yeah, and others. Yeah.
among others.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we won the audience award at Burbank, yeah, which was nice.
So Tim, you wore a double hat here, producer and acting in it, of course. What did you find most challenging in either one of those roles?
Well, I failed as producer because the close-up of the donuts as the picture stayed in the movie. I've spent more time arguing to get the donut close-up out of the movie than really anything else.
I wanted to put more donut close-ups in, but
No, the thing is, for me, the producerial part came really before we started shooting. Once we started shooting, I had to concentrate on being an actor, and there was some kibitzing at the end in terms of the editing and the choices and things that we lost, because one of the things that's hardest about making a film, and I'm sure you'll reiterate this, is that sometimes you shoot things that are just great that can't be in the movie because they don't further the story or they tilt it in the wrong direction. So I can't remember specifically what we lost because it's been a long time, but there's discussions about the shape of it and how you're going to save things and lose things.
Absolutely. And I'll come right back over there. And writing, directing, producing, Stephen, what did you find most challenging and most rewarding?
most challenging was not killing myself.
Yeah, that was challenging for me too.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was full on. As I said before, we were very lucky to get the financing, so it kind of hit us and we had to run with it. it was fun to do. But, you know, I think anyone here who's a filmmaker, which I think is most of you, you look at what you've done and you think, oh, shit, I wish I'd done that, or I wish I'd done that, or I wish I had the budget to do that. But, you know, as a producer, I brought him on board. That was my producing job. And cast it. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the whole process. I actually enjoyed it.
I mean, one of the things that was great about the producerial process for us was that we had one person that said, we'll write you a check. So we didn't have to chase down a bunch of people and make partnerships and negotiate, you know, percentages and all stuff like that. There was one guy who was very generous and very supportive. And so that took a lot of the sort of business part away from us. I say that knowing full well that Shelley Gibson and our other producer, Tom Bellos, did a lot of the grunt work, you know, the forms and permits and all that stuff. But we could really concentrate on the creative things.
And when you have a great cast, and I mean a great cast, this guy is incredible to work with. He's one of the best. Absolutely. It just makes life easier. I mean, if anyone here wants to do a film with him, he's really cheap. So I think it's tonight only, though. Is it? Is it this week only? A twofer.
I'm over here. First, Tim, I was sad to watch Madam Secretary go off TV.
Thank you.
And do you have a daughter or a son?
I do. I have a daughter. Stephen and I both have daughters, and one of the things that we talked about a lot was we both have wonderful, interesting, loving relationships with our daughters that are very complicated. And
Well, that was my question: is how did you, as a dad with a daughter in real life, what did you bring to the movie with that interaction?
Well, you know, I mean, Phil is different than me. I mean, the interesting thing about Phil is that even though he promises right to the very end that he won't be manipulative anymore, he still is, right? So but he's someone that knows he's going to die, and he, you know, doesn't reveal that to anyone ever. So I think that, you know, what I brought to the movie, I think, was just the understanding that, you know, that father-daughter relationship, for me anyway, is very, very special and very, very complicated and sometimes heartbreaking and sometimes absolutely joyous. And I think all of that is represented in the film. So it wasn't about my daughter, it wasn't about Stephen's daughter, but it was about, you know, the authenticity of that particular relationship.
Hello. As a millennial nerd in the crowd, I'm very excited to talk to Tim, the voice of Superman. You know, with a serious movie like that, were there any memorable times behind the scenes when you guys couldn't stop laughing or had to get back in character when you're shooting so much serious content?
That's one of those questions, you know, that I'm sure there were. I can't remember them. I mean, you know, it was kind of funny because Stephen and I were staying in a condo that Shelley got us for like 5 cents with the director of photography and our other producer Tom. So it was kind of like a frat house. But you know what? But these guys, this guy, every morning they would have oatmeal, and they would leave the freaking oatmeal to harden like grout, all of the and for some reason I was Mr. Clean Up the Oatmeal, and so there was that.
Bitch.
But Stephen changed. He did. He cleans up his oatmeal now.
I think about him every time I make oatmeal now. I mean, it's ridiculous. I do.
I was just wondering, some of the scenes, the right side of the screen would be like out of focus, or parts of the scenes. Was there so that you just focused like on the center of it, or?
I mean, I guess so, in a couple of them. I don't know which ones you're talking about.
I guess so in a couple. I don't know which ones you're talking about.
Well, there was like the one when the psychiatrist was talking to you, Tim, on the phone, and she was in her kitchen, and like the area where the sink was.
Yeah, I think that was just bad camera work, honestly.
Really?
No, I think so. It
And then-
wasn't meant to be like
Oh,
that.
and then when they were on the beach together, Tim and.
Yeah, but that's a misty, you know, moment of, you know,
Yeah.
kind of nostalgic moment. So don't be so literal. Jeez. Come on.
I mean, they were
Do you have an
acting.
iPhone? Do you have an iPhone? Go, edit a photo, and there's something called vignette, and it kind of makes the corners dark, and it focuses you on the middle. It's a beautiful little thing to do.
I am curious. I'm curious to know what the motivation or inspiration was for writing this type of film.
I answered this question actually earlier when we were interviewed, but I saw a movie years and years ago called Talk Radio, which was a guy just sitting in a radio station, and the entire movie, it was an Oliver Stone movie, and I loved it, the way that they could make a whole movie. So I was thinking I'd love to do it just in a car, and that's where it started, and I thought a road trip. And then it kind of expanded, you know, father-daughter. I have a daughter who, you know, we don't have those sort of issues, but you have issues with a daughter who, they turn 14 and they stop talking to you, you know. It was really just I wanted to do a road trip that was about family. And father and daughter, you know, we talked about it, and it just seemed an appropriate thing to do. And yeah, I mean, no specific reason other than that.
I thought the film, I loved all the close-ups of the camera of all the characters. I just thought there was just a real beauty in that when there was close-up and feel the emotion, etc. But one thing in the film that I would love to know what the rationale was, it seemed to me that when someone stole the car, the kids stole the car, and the father and daughter go out to see that the car is gone and stolen, why were they kind of nonchalant about, I mean, the mother's ashes were in the car, and it just seemed to me illogical that there's the mother in a stolen car, no idea if the car will ever be found, and granted, it was found, but at the time, the father and the daughter had no idea the car would ever be found.
Are you a film critic, by the way?
No, I'm not.
Just checking.
No, I was just wondering.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Let's get something straight.
Okay.
Okay, let's get something straight.
Okay.
This happens all the time, but the
Losing
ashes
ashes in the car?
of somebody are not the person.
Oh, I
They're just
understand
not.
that.
So, you know, I think that you know that you know, also in moments when you're surprised by something. This happens to me all the time. I heard this great phrase on NPR a long time ago, and it was about when something happens that disrupts your frame of reference. And they were talking about being frame jacked. And I think that they're sort of frame jacked, right? They're not thinking clearly. You know, as you said, it didn't seem logical. They're not being logical. Their car is gone. How are they going to get, you know, they're thinking first about how are they going to get where they're going, and the other stuff comes afterwards.
I think it was a kidnapping.
And then they snorted her. Someone else had a question back here, and I missed your hand. Where did it go? Did we answer your question? Got it?
Hi, thank you very much for being here. How many days did it take to shoot this film?
We shot Missouri in 18 days and then 2 days in Malibu.
Okay, so when I write my film, you can produce and shoot mine.
Good one, Shereen. Any other questions for the guys? And tell me, I know Shelley's over in Europe. Yeah. Is she preparing for that festival? She was talking about a new project. Are you all working on new projects as well with her, or is that something separate?
I've got a couple of projects. Yeah, we're trying to shoot something else in Missouri because of basically the tax incentives are so good there. And not only that, you know, we went to Springfield to shoot, and I've shot stuff in LA. In LA, you walk out the door with a camera and someone wants 25 grand from you for something. In Missouri, you can walk into the middle of the road and the cops can drive by and you can shoot whatever you want and they just don't care. So it's kind of it's interesting shooting there. But you know, I've also got a couple of other things, you know, in different places. There's something in the UK, and there's perhaps another Los Angeles one.
And Tim, I wanted to. We were just mentioning of course, the Superman, the voice of Superman, Madam Secretary, Wings, all those wonderful TV shows you're known for, as well as movies.
Was that you?
Yeah.
It used to be me.
And he hasn't aged a bit, which really pisses me off. But anyway, tell us what draws you to a role, and do you have a preference on TV work versus movie work? And there's no wrong answer, even though you're at a film festival.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm a little bit lucky because I'm sort of AI proof because I also do a lot of theater. I mean, I spent all of 2024 working in the theater in New York, but which is, I think, my favorite medium because I enjoy being with a live audience with strangers in a room because it creates this special energy and you never know what it's going to be like. And also, it's not filmed, so everybody takes their memory of it away with them, and it can be different for every person. There's not someone who's telling your eye where to look or what to listen to. But in terms of film and television, I mean, I think that the budget of a film is in direct proportion to my level of boredom, meaning that the big, huge budget films, and I haven't done many, are so freaking boring because you sit in a motorhome for hours while they're tweaking lights and doing all this stuff, and you come out and you act for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you go back to the motorhome and sit there for hours waiting to act some more. I like acting. And you know, and so this movie was maybe a little too fast. You know, we could have had more time to shoot and to get different camera angles and to explore scenes a little more deeply. But there is sort of a happy medium, and I think that you know, Madam Secretary for me was an absolute dream job because. You know, the writing was good for a network show. You know, I met the love of my life and who's my lovely wife now, and you know, there was a lot of chance to get out there and act, which I find. I mean, that's my profession. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. I really don't want to sit in a motorhome unless I'm, you know, out here someplace looking at red rocks.
Well, I would like to commend you because you've taken on some projects. Some of the other things you had here in the festival where we met you originally were short films, and you're very committed to independent film and independent filmmakers, and I want to commend you for that because that's huge as an actor. So these guys are going to be out on the red carpet in a little while, but and we're going to send Taya, of course, the recording of her happy birthday, but it's also this guy's birthday on Sunday, so why don't we go ahead and send Tim off with Sedona happy birthday greetings, don't you think? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tim. Happy birthday to you.
I gotta say, this is the best group of singers, like random singers, I've ever heard.
Exactly.
My God, I've been in Broadway shows where the people couldn't sing this well. This is crazily good.
Thank you very much.
Also,
Give it up,
wait.
Tim Daly, Stephen
Thank you very
Ward.
much.
Dust to Malibu. Don't forget to vote.
Thank you.
Come say hello to them on the red carpet. Thank you all so much for being here.
Oh, don't forget to vote. Vote for the movie.
Vote.